Second. How's it going, Cirrus? All right, let me know when we're streaming. Thank you, Chantal. You're so reliable. Old reliable. Old Yeller. Old Yeller. I think I'm losing my mind. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the FOMC statement. 10-minute trades trade room. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-minute trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. Please trade carefully and don't trade money you cannot afford to risk. All right. Chantal is the best. You said it, KT. Well, Chantal is second best, maybe? Second best? What do you think? No, Chantal's the best. Let's put our news up. Get the news going. So everybody's been waiting for this moment all week. And, you know, you have to say the markets have not really been that quiet. You know, the markets have been, they feel pretty normal. They feel pretty normal. So give me a second. I'm just looking for my news. Somebody tell Lawrence to relog in and out. Would somebody type, hey, Lawrence, relog in and out? Economic calendar. So I'm listening to the news in my headset. We are expecting a 75 basis point hike. If they raise it 1 point, the market will drop, I think, a lot. If they stick with the 3/4, then, you know, everyone's going to say it's baked in, which is, you know, doesn't really, I don't think that has a lot of meaning. I think no matter what, there's going to be a reaction, obviously. And a lot of times when we think it's going to be a gigantic reaction, sometimes it isn't. So what's going on? Crude jumps 2%. Gas stocks tumble on pump price drop. I'll have to look into that a little bit. Um, you know, don't get me started on crude and gasoline prices today. I don't want to go there. I'm very, very corporate upset these days. Very, very corporate upset. That's not even a proper sentence, but ticked off at corporations. That's the way I'd put it. Ticked off at corporations. They've had their run, and somebody's got to stop them. And it's going to be me. Single handedly. I'm going to whip all the corporations into shape. All right. FOMC, they're expecting a 3/4 basis point hike. I think everyone agrees that the Fed has not done a good job this year. They've been behind the 8 ball. They're playing catch up. It's really hurt the markets. I don't think we can blame all the problems on the Fed. It certainly hasn't been good for the markets. Nothing has hurt the markets more than the war. I mean, that is the worst thing that has happened. Definitely. Lawrence, you're going to tell me That means I'm insisting that you get the DMM and you tell me what the trade setup is. I'm not telling anybody what the setup is until you tell me. What do you think of that? Ha. Okay, there you go. There you go. So give me a break, dude. Give me a break. All right. You are looking at the DMM. So good. I don't have to be mean. All right, folks. I hope everybody had a good morning after the oil trade. It was a very long trade room this morning. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Cirrus, I think you have to join with us. I can already tell that you're a maniacal trader. You love the way we trade, and you're a natural for being one of our trade members. So you should really seriously think about it, for real. I think you'd make a great addition. I can tell. I like you already. No joke. I'm dead serious. I'm not like patting you on the back trying to convince you to join. I think you fit. I think you'd fit here. This is not for everybody. Everybody can't trade the way that we do. Most people can, though. A lot of people are afraid and they think they shouldn't because of, the old wives' tales. The whole thing with worrying about trading the news. And yes, sometimes there's terrible trades. It's terrible. But when those beautiful trades happen, it's such a great feeling. And even when, like, look, even oil this morning, in some ways, oil this morning was a horrible trade because it should have been a $400 winner and it was only a $90 winner. Those, to me, are some of the most frustrating trades. Sometimes it's more frustrating to win than it is to lose. Isn't that crazy? But it's true. From just talking from a psychological standpoint. And let's face reality. The hardest part of all of this is not learning the software. It's not finding the money. It's dealing with the psychology. The psychology, every day, the longer I do this, the more we realize it's the psychology that makes this such a hard job. Battling the fear, the worry, the frustration. You got to be able to bottle. You have to be able to bottle those feelings, put them away, and keep going. I mean, and I think that the people that trade the best are the people that are able to be the least affected by every event. In other words, if you have a lousy trade, you don't let it bother you. When I first started trading, I tell this story all the time in the trade room, that I used to just lose $5. If I lost as little as $5, it would affect my psychology so negatively, I wouldn't be able to trade the whole rest of the day. The whole day. That's how messed up psychologically I was. I really, really, really struggled with the psychology for years. It wasn't something, I still struggle with psychology. So we have a DMM today. In some ways, today is a simple day. I'm just trading pretty much very close to the DMM. For all the new folks out there, the DMM is the daily market mover. That's our daily trade report. The day before events, for many of our trades, not all of them, for many of our trades, the day before the event, we send out a daily trade report, and it has a suggested way of trading that we're going to trade. So that's what we got going. And this is the daily report. So let's get it set up. Let's set up. What do you say? It's going to be a breakout trade. That means it's a bracket. Breakout trade is the trade type. Our entry time is 13:59.59. $40-tick bracket. Very unusual. That's a big bracket. And I'm going to trade, and two targets, 40 ticks and 80 ticks. Use 38. and 77. Use 39 and 81. Okay, everybody use a different target. Use a different target. Hey, Mike, nice to see your little icon over there. Your gravatar. Nice to see you. Everybody's coming back. People always come back. It's so great. People get addicted to news trading. They'll go do something else, or maybe they'll move, they'll go to another country. You never know. They'll dabble in Forex for a while. They always come back to news trading. Isn't it funny? But people always come back to news trading. My first target, so I'm not going to tell you what my targets are. What do you think of that? I'm not giving away my targets. My first target is ticks. My second target is ticks. And my third target is cigarette ticks. Now, I'm using 25, 49, and 99. Okay. I would appreciate if everybody change up your targets. Don't use the same ones I'm using. We have a 40 tick stop. And if my second target gets hit, I'm going to move my stop to break even. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. Nope, I'm in the wrong place. Timeout. I'm going to move my stop, target 2, stop move, break even. Now remember, +5. Remember, if you hover over the input, it'll describe what it does. Okay, a lot of traders forget that. You can hover, it'll tell you what it does, and sometimes it'll give you a little bit of it'll give you a little. I can't believe I lost track of the word I was saying. I started reading the question. Format. It'll give you the format. Do we have people in Eastern Europe? People definitely can do this in Eastern Europe. Lou, the biggest issue you have when you go to a country, for instance, that doesn't have good internet, that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. You might go somewhere where the internet's not good. So in that case, you rent a VPS, and that can help a lot. In other words, you're trading on someone else's server. So that can help a tremendous amount, so that if you don't have good internet, you're loading your software on a VPS. It's not that expensive. Brian, you're the expert in VPS prices. You have been. I don't know if you've been checking lately. So let me set up my first trade, because I'm setting up a second trade also. Not really anticipating doing it, but you never know. So my original trade is a breakout, triggering a 13.59.59, a 40 tick bracket, targets of 29, 49, and 99. Our stop is 40, and my target 2 stop move. If my second target gets hit, I'll move my stop to break even +5. Yes, I'm not assuming that internet is bad in Eastern Europe necessarily, but I'm saying even if you're in the United States and you move into a very rural area that has horrible internet, you can use a VPS. And if you Google VPS, virtual private server, it's not a VPN. It's different. It's not the same thing. But a VPS is a very common way that many traders trade. It's just like renting someone else's internet, essentially. That's the best, a simple way I could explain it. So, Brian, you still like Contabo? Because I know you've mentioned them for more than a year now. All right. So I'm going to check my bracket size by setting my time to 0. The only time that you have to worry about is the activate entry time. That's our time, because it is a breakout trade. So if I put my charts, I want to check my setup with, I'm just looking at my brackets, so I just have everything centered nicely. And I like that a lot, a little bit smaller. So now I'm going to put my time back. So our trigger time is 13:59:59. My account warnings are disabled. Not a super complicated setup, because that's what's been working as of late. And I am going to set up a secondary trade. So my main trade is ready. And now, what could happen in this trade? And definitely it could be, there could be significant movement after the report. It's very possible. Extremely possible. Now, I'm not sure that I'm dying to watch the ES. I mean, there probably are ES trades for this report. Just so you know, I mean, in all honesty, there is ES trades. There are gold trades for this report. ZB moves on this. There's a lot of instruments. The euro probably moves very well. There's a lot of instruments that I'm sure you can find a trade if you want to. As you get experience, you can find many different setups for the FOMC statement. I promise you that. Yeah, I don't like that trade, Chantal, that range trade. I'm not crazy about it. What's the time on that? The 1 minute? So, Lawrence, the risk is, how many contracts are you trading times 40, right? So 3 times 40. That's assuming everything went perfectly. It's $5 per. So here's the way you figure it. So 40 ticks times 5. It's $5 per tick on the NQ. So it's 200. 200 per contract. If you trade 3 contracts, it's a theoretical $600 risk. I say theoretical because when you trade fast events, you could blow through your stop. It could be a 50 or 60 tick stop if the market's very fast. So you just have to know that that could happen. A stop is only an approximation. It's not a guarantee that that's your risk. And that's very important to know. It's not a guarantee. So I'm just trying to think what I'm thinking about doing if there's a second trade. Let me just check my time sync by going to the website time.is. And my time is in sync. So, I'm not listening to the television. No one uses that phrase anymore. I don't even think anyone watches television anymore. We stream. We don't watch TV. I think I like watching bonds on this report a lot. I think ZN would be pretty interesting to watch. And I also, you know what? I think gold is a great one to watch. I do think that gold is going to be very interesting. My second trade, though, is if I feel that there's a possibility of a trade after the news, I would be looking more for an NQ type scalp. I believe that the NQ and the ES are going to move significantly. And I'd want to make it a very simple trade. And trust me when I say I'm not even dead certain I'm doing it. I'm just thinking about it. So I would do it as a one-click range trade. Now, one-click range trade, but I'm thinking about it more like our NQ open trade. That's more how I'd be thinking about it. With two contracts, a target of 20 and a target of 40 and a stop of 35. And with a one-click range trade, I'm going to use buttons to enter if I were going to enter. So I would have a couple of ticks above the range, a couple of ticks below the range, and I really would just use one bar for the range. It's really a scalp that I would most probably just enter immediately. I probably wouldn't use the range, but so this would be only after the report. And it's only if I felt comfortable doing this type of trade. I'm not a gigantic discretionary trader. That's not my strong suit. I like to trade the news. I like events. I don't like to figure out what direction ultimately. It's the reason that I found this type of trading. But let me just show you what happens with this type of a trade. So when I apply and enable my after news trade, it'll put buttons on. Oh, so there's something I'm going to have to fix, I believe. Let me put my breakout. Let me show you the after news trade. It'll draw the range, see? But really, I'll just enter instantly long or short if I feel there is an opportunity to go in one direction. It would be after the breakout trade, and I might use tick strike signals, okay? But my main trade is just the regular breakout. If, we get a good move on that, the time, I'm Eastern time. I'm 1:47. My trading time is 13. Weldon. I'm in East Coast. Let me make sure that I put my time in right. Now, the one-click range trade is not a time-based trade. My main trade now, you're getting confused, Weldon. My clock is on military time. That's why. My clock's on military time. That's why you're seeing that, right? You're just seeing military time. It's no problem. But you're making me double check my time on my trade, which is fine. My main trade, 13:59.59. So it's good. It's looking good. And the main trade, I'm going to zoom through the settings, Lawrence. I want to watch the market now. 40 tick bracket, targets. Choose your targets. How many contracts you're going to trade. Choose your targets. Somewhere between 20 and 30 on your first. I'm choosing 25, 49, and 99. My stop is 40. and I'm break even plus 5 if my second target gets hit. It's a pretty straight ahead trade. Everything looks good. I'm trading the right instrument. Everything looks fine. We've tested the brackets. We're recording. I'm using target 2 stop. If my target 2 is hit, I'm moving my stop to break even plus like 5 or 10 ticks. I just want to move it break even plus a few ticks here and there. 5 to 10 is fine. If it hits your second target and then pulls back and hits your stop, it's still not a bad trade. It would be decent. You'd have 49 ticks. So it's expected that they'll raise to 2.5. They're expected to raise to 2.5. So the Fed, they've been pretty aggressively raising rates. I mean, that much we can say. It's been very aggressive. Probably more aggressive, than they needed to be. Had they, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised. Everybody in the world knew that inflation wasn't transitory. How is it possible that only the Fed didn't know? If you think about it, that's incredible. Incredible that they got that wrong, isn't it? Seems pretty intense. So a lot of people are expecting, according to Financial Juice, quite a lot of people are expecting 100 basis points. In other words, to 2.75. I worry that the market will not like that. I think the market will be happier with a 3/4 point hike. And there are some people for real that think the Fed should not do anything right now and just let the hikes that they've put in filter through the economy. I think that's true. I think when Yellen started talking, that's when that's when it hit the fan, so to speak. I agree with that. Brian, I agree. It was Yellen when she started talking. It was 2 reports ago, It was 2 Fed reports ago. Yellen started talking. Anyway, I still don't really know what the Fed does or who they are. So watching gold, just watching gold on the right. Right, that's right, Mike. All right, so we still got about a minute and change. I want to thank everybody that's watching on YouTube. How about giving us, hit the like button, sign up for the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like if you enjoy watching this. So, it's interesting that the information doesn't leak. I mean, they've known what they were going to do on this report for who knows how long. Maybe a week or two. I don't know. It's an unknown. No one knows, right? So we have like no response. It's pretty crazy. Okay, hit it hit my second target. The software worked perfectly. It moved my stop to break even. So I made 375. It was a very strange, it's not over, but it's a very strange response to the bracket breakout. Now I'm going to turn on my second trade. It's drawing a range. I know that Chantal's got a 1 minute range trade she's looking at on the ES. I may not trade anymore. I made 375, real cash, real money. Not as much as I was hoping to make, but look, I had a 100 tick target on my third target. So I hit my first two targets. I don't mind making $375. Although I think I should get paid a lot more than I'm getting paid, because I thought I was going to have a heart attack before that trade. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I don't think I've been more nervous before a trade in a long time. Now, just watch. So they did what was expected, which is good. I think the market's going to go up from here. And once again on YouTube, come on, folks on YouTube, give us a couple of likes. We traded live money. We made real money. We want more likes. I need more likes. I need them. Please. No. Hit the like button. Sign up. Sign up for our YouTube channel so you don't have to watch one stream a week. Sign up for our trade room, right? Sign up for our trade room. Now, I'm not going to sell the trade room now, but when this session is over, before it's over, I'm selling the trade room, okay? I'm selling our sell. Look at gold. Gold was not an easy trade. It went down first, okay? It went down first. So I know that I'm done trading now. We've got earnings in an hour, 2 hours. I'm not. I think market's going up from here. I think the market's going up from here. I think the market likes 3/4 of a point. They need to give me medical insurance for real. Now look, you just came close to testing the high. I think you're going to see volatility. Don't get me wrong. For all you discretionary traders out there, you need to use big stops on a report like this. And there's tremendous opportunity during the news conference to trade, right? You've got tremendous opportunity. Now, everybody forgets there's actually a real statement that the Fed releases. You know, you could read through the statement because there are some interesting things going on here. The vote was unanimous. The policy was unanimous. That's rare that everybody agrees. Okay. It's rare that everyone agrees. Gold, a good secondary trade. You could see it there. The ES, Chantal, what happened on the ES range? So it was a 1 minute range. Did it work? See you, Lawrence. Did it work? You could still be in it if it worked. So let's get a rundown, folks. Tell me what you did. What'd you trade? If you're in a trade now, don't answer me. But what happened to you? What did you do? Somebody out there traded. I know that. Tell me what you traded, what you made, what you lost. Mark, you're an after the move trader. You're an after the move trader. Fred, so I'm wondering why that happened, Fred. Why? I didn't get close to being filled. Well, but I was using NQ. Fred, I think the MNQ is really different before the NQ, very different behavior than the NQ. I think they're quite different. I don't think they're interchangeable. I mean, they're close. Look at the retrace now. Look at the retrace. So I'm sorry to hear that the MNQ didn't work. Let's look at the video. This was a very, very strange response to dramatic news. I mean, that's one thing that I would say. It was a very strange response, I think. Now, I'm showing less than I made because I was down about $62 when we started. But my trade, I mean, I didn't take any heat. Everything just worked to plan on the NQ. 40 tick bracket. I did everything according to the DMM except my targets. Targets, you know, they could affect whether a trade works. It's possible. Usually, as long as your first couple of targets are not greedy, your targets won't cause you to lose. But it's possible that if your targets are very incorrect, too big, way too big, a bad target could ruin a potentially good trade. Because if you're so out of the ballpark on targets, they won't get hit, then you could get caught in a pullback. So there is logic to everything. I mean, you can't do anything carelessly. You know, pick targets, got to do everything with the utmost of care. Okay, Caesar, no problem. That happens. That happens. Oh, that's good that you canceled it, Caesar. That's a big risk disaster, right? Potential big risk disaster. Trading the ES with NQ parameters. You bet. Now the ES, I did not. We did. I was watching gold. So I'm a little bit sorry I didn't watch ES at the time instead of gold. I think a lot of people like trading the ES more than gold. Let me show you the video. I got to be honest. I thought it would be a bigger trade. I thought it would either be a giant stop out or a very, very big profit. I didn't think it would be in the middle. I didn't think it would be a middle. So let me show you what happened. It was a little bit nerve-wracking at the moment of the trade because of the slow fill. And I know that some people that are watching would say, slow fill? Are you kidding me? That's not a slow fill where I come from. But this was a slow fill. If you're experienced with us, look how long it took. Orders are on the chart. I was actually thinking of pressing the adjust button. I almost got filled to the long side there, which would have not been good because well, I think I would have, okay. I had a very good fill. It just didn't follow through to the third target. That's all. I mean, it went past my second target, but not by a mile. Not by a mile. So, I mean, I'm not upset about my trade. I think the trade, it worked. What's great about my trade is I didn't have to think at all about moving the stop. So that's a beautiful feature in the software. Watch. Watch my stop move automatically after my second target gets hit. That's a good place to save profit. So price is going to go down first here, and then it's going to shoot back up. Right here, boom, stop moves. Break even plus, what was it, 5, I think, or sorry, I didn't do a break even plus 20. I would have made a couple more bucks because it was a pretty big reversal. And then price went back. Gold, let's see, gold, did gold whipsaw to the downside first? So here's gold. Watching gold. Very slow response to the news. It almost looks like it's not moving. It went down a little bit. Oh, gold was a stop out. Gold was a stop out. You would have got filled long and then stopped out when it reversed. Not a good move on gold. Not a good move. Okay. So look, a lot of people watching on YouTube. Hit that like button before you go. Let me just show you if you want to join with us. We made 375. We made money on the oil report today. We made money on the oil open today. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to sign up and trade the way that we trade. You can sign up for 6 months. www.jobbsoftware.com for $749, 6 months of everything that we offer: software, trade room, daily reports, all the education and fun that we have in the trade room. www.jobbsoftware.com. Highly recommend that you come join us. You can do a lot of really interesting trading. So, Cirrus, after the news, that's when it makes sense to look at those levels. Now, I don't argue looking at levels, It's just that we're very lucky in that we don't have to study the levels before trades. In all honesty, if you could just trade the breakout and you don't have to worry about that stuff. If you really want to just trade as simple as you can with us, you can just trade the breakout reports. Now, obviously, they don't all work. I'm not saying they're all going to work, but you don't have to do a lifetime of analysis. That's what I love about this style of trading. Okay, folks, so any questions? It seems like very few people traded. Chantal never answered. Mark, what happened to Chantal? She never answered. Chantal must have had such a big trade that she just went out to buy a car immediately. Oh, the range. Okay, I figured you're still trading because you are a lunatic trader. That's the truth. A lunatic. Absolute lunatic trader. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? 1, 2, 3, set up. 1, 2, 3, shoot me. 1, 2, 3, shoot me. Any questions? Anybody? Thanks, everybody on YouTube. We had a very nice turnout. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for our stream of the week. If you join up with us, you can come in every day. We will be back at 3:30, folks, for Facebook. For the rest of my life, I'm calling them Facebook. I don't care. I don't care. They will always be Facebook to me. I'll never like them, no matter what they change their name to. They're still a miserable company. Let's see if we can make some money on that trade. Okay. I'll see everybody at 3:30 for Meta. Okay. I'll see you all later.